Another reason for the crash in the US economy at the end of the 1920s was because big business was in control. Now, people join unions, trade unions, and they do it for their own protection. So, for example, I'm in a trade union, I'm in a teachers' trade union, but you can get trade unions for all sorts of different things. So every different business going pretty much, and employment going. And we do it for our own protection. So if the government announced that teachers' wages were going to drop by 40%, the teachers would all go to their union and say, we're not happy about this. The union would agree. They'd go on strike. Now, during the First World War, the various unions, workers' unions in America, agreed to not go on strike. They didn't want to disrupt industry and disrupt the country by going on strike. So they agreed not to help the war effort, because it was more important to win the war than to go on strike. After the war, a series of strikes broke out, but the big business won. To win a strike for a business would be to mean the workers went back to work without anything changing. If the strikers won a strike, that would mean their demands were given into. Now, because the big businesses won the strike and the workers were forced to go back to work because they'd not been getting paid, and if you don't get paid, you struggle to eat and other things as well. So they'd end up going back to work without their grievances being met, without the things that they'd been demanding being met. So big businesses are in control. That meant that they could choose the wages of their workers, so they could pay low wages, which would mean the business would make huge profits. They could increase working hours. In fact, some businesses in America refused to employ people if they were even part of a union. That's how much in control they were. Now, that has an impact on the economy, because if people are getting paid less, they've got less money to spend on things. And so if they've got less money to spend on things, well, they can't afford to buy things. So they're businesses that might not get custom, might not be getting money, business that otherwise they would be getting if the wages weren't so low. There we are. So big businesses being in control had an impact on the economy, and also it meant that if their businesses weren't doing so well, they could just fire people at will because of the whole laissez-faire thing. So big businesses being in control, if suddenly there's a slump in sales, well, they could just fire 10 people just like that. They didn't have to worry. They didn't have to explain to anybody. And if they were just able to fire and lower wages whenever they liked, it would have an impact on the economy, because it would mean there would be people who can't buy things. And people buying things is very important for a healthy economy. So there.